For this project, we wanted to explore the discrepancies between the reality versus the fantasy here at DePauw University, and how DePauw presents an inaccurate representation for what life is like for people of color on this campus. They do this through marketing strategies such as brochures, such as Facebook advertisements, such as videos, and etc.
Understand what life is like in DePauw. We conducted a few interviews between students to see what their perspective is on the campus life.
Okay, so how do you view DePauw in terms of diversity?
I would say DePauw is not very diverse, and I think it's pretty evident when you're on the campus, because most of the white fraternities are on the front side of the campus, and they're really like showboating those aspects, while they put all the multicultural fraternities and sororities on the back side of campus. Even where they built the new CDI, it's on the back side of campus, so it really seems like they're trying to show the whiteness of DePauw over the blackness.
Okay, do you think DePauw presents an accurate representation in their marketing to people of color of what this campus is for them?
I wouldn't say so, just because I had a friend that was used as marketing on DePauw's website, and he doesn't even go to school here anymore, so now they're just exploiting his image.
To be honest, like how DePauw goes about its admissions process, they kind of paint it as like this picture perfect campus. But even through a lot of the flyers, you have that one token black folk.
So I think it's good that they show that they are diversity, but they gotta let people know exactly it's not how they portray it for sure. Because I know one brochure had 2 black people, 2 white people, 2 Hispanic people. He's like, oh, okay, very diverse campus, and you get here, it's 1,000 white people,
It's
20 black people, 20 Hispanics or whatever. But yeah.
Do you think that there's a strong presence of people of color on this campus?
How are we defining? We're defining strong presence as we have a lot of students of color here. No, if we're defining strong as in how vocal we are, I would say more so, because we are very vocal on this campus, even though we aren't many.
How do you view DePauw in terms of diversity?
Diversity, I think DePauw is not the most diverse. I think it could definitely be more diverse. It is predominantly white students who go to this school, and it's always been like that, and you can see that in the histories. But yeah, I think that they try, and I think that they put it on all of their social media and pictures of diversity, but in real life, I don't think that it is as diverse as they want it to be or claim to be.
Do you think DePauw presents an accurate representation for life on this campus for students of color?
I think the DePauw media needs to do a much better job, simply because I think they try to paint this beautiful picture without taking into consideration that some of the students that they're portraying in some of these images are and then some of the professors that they're showing may not be exactly what they are. I know a few examples, but I know one of the bigger examples we spoke about earlier was they're showing a student who actually, because of DePauw and the campus climate and the atmosphere at DePauw, didn't finish his last semester. So with that being said, you're using that as your recent strategy to advertise the school, market the school, when in reality, little do people know that he's not even here anymore. So it kind of goes against the principles and the beliefs of the school.
Director of admissions, to see what his perspective was on the lives of students of color on this campus. Go.
Hi, my name is Curtis Ferguson II, and I'm Associate Director of Admissions and Coordinator of Multicultural Recruitment at DePauw University. At DePauw, we have a long history of recruiting students of color and students from marginalized communities. This is exemplified by my position, which is dedicated to making sure that we have equal access for all students in order for them to be successful. In addition, we have partnered with a number of community-based organizations, such as the Posse Scholarship, the Center for Leadership and Development, which is based out of Indianapolis, and also we work with LEADA Scholars, which exists across the country.
Is DePauw working to improve diversity on campus? If not, if so, do you see any shortcomings with these measures?
So I think DePauw is very committed to having a diverse campus and having a diverse student body that is reflective to the society that we live in today. With that being said, I think DePauw does need to do more work in terms of inclusion. I believe that there's a difference between diversity and inclusion. Diversity is the people who you bring to the table, and inclusion is who's being involved in the conversations. While we do have a critical mass of students of color on our campus, I don't think that students of color are necessarily involved in all the communications and activities that go on. With that being said, I think DePauw does recognize that they have an issue of inclusion and is working to address those issues. One way they're doing that is by the opening up the Center for Diversity and Inclusion through a generous donation of 2 alumni of color.
All right. And just in your opinion, how have you seen the diversity change on this campus since you've been here?
Well, I've only been at DePauw for 3 years, and I have already seen vast changes. When I started, only 18% of the incoming class were of students of color, and this past year we enrolled 25% students of color. Also, I have seen that DePauw has put resources in for students' activities, such as with the Center of Diversity and Inclusion, and also with them applying for various grants in order to help make sure that students are successful.
Thank you, Curtis. Appreciate your time.
Throughout this presentation, we have addressed the different ways DePauw uses its marketing strategies to perpetuate a life on this campus which is not the reality.